Hey guys, what's up? How y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new chapter of One Piece, which is on chapter 965. This chapter right here. My goodness gracious, to think that this was revealed, I'm actually starting to like the revelation and information in this chapter, you know? So if anything else, let's just get this started. We had to it that the chapter opens up with Odin's narration, you know? He talks about that there are four distinct oceans in the world that are divided by a long strip of sea. More surprisingly, the world is actually shaped like a spear. How astounding, you know? And we see to it that Odin ends up talking to Toki and asks her, so where were you born, Toki? She says, I have no idea. Both my parents actually originated from Wano, so that's why I want to go there. And Odin's like, well, unfortunately, it seems unlikely that this ship will ever be able to return to Wano. But Toki says to Odin, like, that's okay. When I'm with you, it feels like I've already reached my destination. And he's like, huh? How come? She says, I wonder. And we have two, the Nekomamushi and many others are like eavesdropping on the conversation, etc. You know, and we see to it that Odin, who is apparently sailing with Whitebeard still, he has a natural enemy that's like considered to be the Navy. And we see to it that Odin's like, hey, we should fight these guys. But Whitebeard says, no, they're a large organization. If we stay and fight, more will keep showing up, you know? And Odin asks Whitebeard, you're saying that the Navy oversees the entire world? To think that's even possible, that's really crazy. Whitebeard therefore tells Odin, you know, if you keep traveling, you'll understand these things, you know? In a way, your country is still free. And we see to it that, I guess, Odin and Toki, which of course that's Momonosuke's mother, they actually, you know, not going to say anymore, but we see to it that the first child came out and his name is Kozuki Momonosuke, you know? And we see to it that, what's his name again? All I know is he's part of Whitebeard's crew, and I think he still is. We see to it that he tells Odin, like, yo, you're a notorious outlaw and you got a bounty in the outside world. You better get the heck back to Wano as best as you can, you know? But we see to it that Odin tells Izo, I can't yet. Until I find the answers I seek, I will not return there. And we see to it that Inugarashi and Nekomamushi are reading the newspapers and go like, I hope Wano's doing well, you know? And Whitebeard says, you know, I'm thinking about making division leaders and I want you to lead the second division, as Whitebeard tells Odin. But Odin's like, I don't want to. I don't want that kind of responsibility. It's stupid or it's too much for him, you know? And Whitebeard's like, just do it. Just do it. And we see to it that Odin somehow will manage to recruit Teach on board the ship in an ironic way. And I mean Teach. Not to mention, Odin will continue his narration where he actually travel the world still, see a lot more in his travels, and there's so much to see. However, back in Wano, which is really, really bad right now because Lord Sukiyaki is actually in critical condition right now. And he actually wanted Odin to succeed him as the next shogun, but Odin's away at this moment. If something were to happen before he returns, I feel that I must appoint an acting regent to take care of things until his return. And we see to it that Kurozumi Orochi shows up, and we see to it that Yasui, or Hedgehog Hair, goes like, why is he here, man? And he's regarded as a younger brother, and Kurozumi Orochi, that's his full name if anything, ends up saying, I cannot adequately express how grateful I am to Lord Sukiyaki and Lord Odin. I may not be able to repay my debt during this lifetime. I promise to use this opportunity to redeem the Kurozumi Clan. I will atone for my grandfather's foolishness and help out in any way I can. I hope to have everything fully prepared for Lord Odin's eventual homecoming, you know? Until its return, I will serve as a temporary substitute. I shall be no more than a humble figurehead. Please lend me your support. And Yasui asks Orochi, how come you never mentioned you were Kurozumi? He says, forgive me. And he says, I am very sorry. Which I go I don't think so. And we go to a backstory about about Orochi himself, you know? We get to see a thunderstorm, and some weird old elder lady tells Orochi that you shall become a shogun. And Orochi's like, what are you talking about? You're scaring me. Who are you? She says, do you not know what happened to your grandfather? I heard he committed seppuku, but I'm not so sure about the specifics. And we see to it that the elder lady tells them, no, he was killed by the Kurozumi clan. But I heard he committed treason though. And then she tells Orochi, since one was struggling to obtain power, a crime. We see to it that she explains to Orochi that the ones who with power ultimately decide what is right and what is wrong. What was once considered a crime can be redefined as noble. You see, the previous Kurozumi shogun did not have any children to succeed him. And there are like multiple clans in here, like the Shimotsu clan, the Kurozumi clan, which is something that Orochi is part of, the Uzuki clan, the Amatsuki clan, and the Fugetsu clan. We see to it that she further explains that the 5 daimyo who served Kurozumi's shogunate started to wonder who the next shogun will be. Every single one of them believed themselves to be the best candidate. It was then that your grandfather started to make careful preparations to assassinate the other daimyos with poison. His rivals disappeared one by one, their absence being explained as an internal dispute. The shogun have heard of these demise of the daimyos became bedridden from illness. Everything was going according to plan. He was on the cusp of claiming the country for himself when an heir was born, Kozuki Sukiyaki. That spiteful Sukiyaki, the Kurozumi clan's plot to take over the country, has been exposed, and your grandfather was forced to commit seppuku. On top of that, the entire clan was disbanded. All the territory, the castle, the power is gone. Everything was taken from the Kurozumi clan. The name itself was scorned by the people, and the surviving members were left in homeless squalor. Who is to blame for the pitiful living conditions you find yourself in? Who is to blame? The one that was born Kozuki Sukiyaki, you know? And we see to it, he says, yes, if he had never been born, you would be shogun. He says, me? Shogun? And he said, yes, indeed, how vexing, how spiteful. Or perhaps, no, the Kurozumi clan, my identity does not matter. Just know that I endured many hardships while I was out of this country. The elder girl and the elder woman ends up saying, look at my face, kill, kill, kill. But she ends up saying, this is the power of the mani fruit, which is something that's similar to Mr. Two's fruit, if anything. Or it's the same fruit. We had to it that she tells Orochi, if you follow my instructions, I will grant you power. You need to become a shogun. And Orochi's like, I would do anything to attain that power. And we see to it, she says, grab as much money as you can and start making weapons. The quality of Wano's craftsmanship is very exceptional. If you make good use of that advantage, you will be able to get some big players to back up for your cause. And Orochi himself, you know, he ends up having to work with Yasui and ends up disappearing and actually stole some gold. He will later on ask Odin for some money, which he would leech off of, you know, or mooch off of. Ends up making pitiful crying tears, saying, oh, I need some money. And he goes like, etc. And we see to it that Odin somehow recommended him to give this guy a job at the castle. He works hard every day, and he's like a younger brother to me. And we see to it that Orochi continues his job, and we go back to the present time of Orochi and Odin's backstory, that if something happens to me, I leave everything to you. And he says, of course, Lord Sukiyaki. And shortly afterwards, the news of Sukiyaki's passing spread throughout Wano. So it looks like to me Orochi killed Sukiyaki in a certain way of poison, if anything. That much I can say for sure. I mean, it has to be. I mean, Sukiyaki has been getting ill, right? But unless he's very, very old, it has, I guess so. But around his middle age, possibly, I don't know. But aside from that, we go back to Odin's voyage and his backstory, where one day during the 4th year of Odin's voyage, you know, we see to it that they actually end up having to arrive somewhere and get ready to like see some natural disaster because some fish are running amok. But we also see the last page of this new chapter shows Roger. And he said, next time bring someone like Sengoku or Garp. You're not even worth my time. And we see to it that Buggy tells Goldie Roger or Captain Roger Whitebeard's ship is docked on the other side of the island. And Rayleigh's like, yo, we just only finished this fight, Roger. And Roger's like, yeah, it's Whitebeard, huh? To think I would be crossing paths with him again, huh? And we see to it that Rayleigh's like, yeah, this sure is a rowdy island. They might have disembarked already. And Goldie Roger's like, well, alright then. Since our lives are an endless brawl anyway, might as well just go at it. After all, I don't have much time either. This may be the final time that I'll encounter Whitebeard, etc. And the chapter ends off there. So overall, without a lot of detail, and I'm pretty sure you must have been confused with all the freaking like crazy quotes I've been giving you guys. We get to know about Orochi and his Kurozumi clan. They were actually a clan who was struggling to grab power, and they assassinated the other clans just to do so. But Kozuki Sukiyaki himself, who was actually like an heir or something, he actually exposed what the Kurozumi's clan been doing, you know, and that grandfather of Orochi would have to be forced to commit seppuku. And you know, the Kurozumi clan will later on be disbanded and be living in poverty because of what they've done, you know. After that, this elder woman or lady of the Kurozumi clan, I believe, she will later on help Orochi like, I will help you gain the power of Shogun. You follow my instructions, you will become one. And Orochi takes up that offer, wanting power for himself, you know. And therefore, that's how he leached off money from Yasui by stealing something from Gold. And then he will later on take more money from Odin. And somehow Odin will see him as a little brother and get him a job at the castle. And after that, Orochi would be the one to possibly poison Sukiyaki and take over as a retainer. Or should I say, shogun, if anything. That much I can tell you. But, yeah. As for Odin's adventures, you know, he will later on be betrothed. He will later on marry Toki in a certain way. I guess you could say that. While he was on Whitebeard's ship, have Kozuki Momonosuke, and he will actually and he will have a second child, which is Hiyori, you know, that kind of thing. Which is like, which is, I think it's the second child, Momonosuke's little sister, you know, that kind of thing. And yeah, Odin's adventures, and we get to see Goldie Roger on the last page of One Piece, man. And I'm like, wow, this guy, he's saying like, hey, give me someone like Sengoku or Garp. You're not even worth my time, you know. And it looks like Goldie Roger's about to pick a fight with Whitebeard again, but I guess we'll have to see. Which I look forward to, because let's not forget, I mean, there was one scene in One Piece where Goldie Roger would have his meeting with Whitebeard, but it'll be the final one. It's like he tells him about the Wheel of D and everything all together, you know. And, you know, Odin having to recruit Teach on board. So, yeah, looking forward to next chapter and see where Odin goes from here. And, yeah, to think Orochi, man. Wow. The Kurozumi clan. So, until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm off. Is that up, people? Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot.